Hi, friends, and welcome to another episode of the
Dynamic Duo.
Dynamic Duo. There she is. If you don't know it by now, I'm Carrie Parker.
I'm Kyley Paul.
Hi, Kyley Paul. How are you today?
I think I look good. I'm digging the glasses and the pink today. So despite just kind of the opposite of the weather outside, but that's all right.
Yeah, we're not getting into spring yet, friends. It is episode 14. We are doing a book review Thursday. Here we go. The book Kyley had me read was Bento Leal III's 4 Essential Keys to Effective Communication. And 2 caveats here, friends. Please remember, just my opinions, please. If you have other opinions, I would love to hear them on Facebook. I don't buy hardcover books anymore. And if you look behind Kyley, you'll see she has all her books. I don't go buy books anymore, friends. My bookshelves are filled. So I borrow from the library. I borrow real books. I borrow audiobooks. And that's what I've been doing a lot of for Kyley's recommendations. So my question to you, friends, do you need the physical book to actually absorb it, or do audiobooks work for you? Because I still haven't decided. I've done audiobooks this whole time we've been doing book club. The first one, the second one, I really enjoyed it. The first 2 were read by the author. Like I said, one I didn't enjoy as much. The second one I really enjoyed. This audiobook was not read by the author. So again, friends, does it matter who the audiobook is read by? Because I unfortunately found the narrator to be a tad not so excited about the book. Let's just say that. So that made an impact on me and how I absorbed the book. So you'll have to let me know, friends, if this is a factor for you. If you really need to read the physical book, if you enjoy buying the physical book, or if you really enjoy Audible books, and if it's read by someone that is not conveying the book well, does it make a difference, or are you still absorbing that book? Because for me, it did make a difference in this book, Kyley. So there were activities, which again, I enjoyed, a lot of good information, really focused on the listening factor of communication, which I truly believe in, empathetic listening, went through all the steps. I did some exercises throughout, how to be considerate with your listening and don't space out, don't interrupt, don't assume what people are saying. You know, all those things can seem like common sense, but a lot of times we forget them when we're communicating, especially with a significant other. I did find intriguing. He pointed out how parents communicate with adult children, because I think sometimes we go through that. I've said it before, I'll say it always, I'm still your mother. So it sometimes is hard to accept for adult that parents, their adult children have their own opinions and they're not, you know, steered to your direction. So you do have to have that empathetic listening. I did really like his talking about how to applaud people, admire people, appreciate people and their listening. And all that makes for good communication. So the book itself, I appreciated on the whole, but I don't think I probably took it in as well as I could have. Kyley, when did you read this book last?
I read it a couple years ago, and I think I did it on a couple flights. So I was listening to the audiobook too on a couple flights, and I liked it. And so what I do when I listen to audiobooks is I take notes. So I have a dedicated notebook well, mine's a little bit bigger than that. just a smidge. I've gone through a few. I've got stacks of notes from books, but So I write notes when I'm listening to them. And actually this particular book, I wrote a couple things down that I was noticing that I was or wasn't doing when I was communicating, especially in my household with my previous partner. And he actually noticed the difference kind of right away when I started implementing that. So that showed me that the strategies in this book make an impact like pretty much immediately. So if you utilize some of the skills in there, and they're just like slight changes when you're communicating with someone, especially one-on-one, it's really effective. And they can be noticed right away. What I wanted to say before, when you're asking about people like physical books versus audiobooks, when I was traveling all the time, and now as my traveling is increasing a little bit, I get through more books by downloading books and listening to them when I'm on planes and trains and driving, and then also have the physical books. But like I said, if I'm listening to an audiobook, I always have my notepad with me, and I'm taking notes. And then if I really enjoy the book, then I buy it too, right? So that's how I kind of counterbalance it. And then I usually will read it again in the physical copy and kind of get more things. Or if I find that there's activities, then when I'm listening to it, and I'm a very visual person, I like to physically see the words or what they're telling me to do or how it's laid out. The format of the activities is really important for my brain to absorb. So I'll usually buy those ones so that I can see how it's laid out. And the narrator does make a difference. I'll sometimes listen to the samples, and if I can't handle the narrator on an Audible, I'll just buy it, because I can't sit through 8 hours of someone talking. I also did listen to a Ben Stein audiobook, which was slightly painful to listen to the entire book, I will say, because he narrated it.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you made that comment. And definitely there are conveniences to audiobooks for sure. But I do like your point of, either you've bought the book, read it physically, and then if you want to reread it, an audiobook is a great way to do it on a trip or something and make some more notes, or vice versa. Either is definitely an advantage, but to have both, I think that's great. And I come from a background of reading for pleasure, so taking notes and everything. I appreciate what you're saying, having a notebook to go back to and taking notes on that, definitely beneficial. But I'm just getting into that realm since you're making me work for it. And you don't usually take notes when you're reading fiction and for pleasure, but I appreciate that you had that view on audiobooks and the narrator. So good. And I'd love to hear from you guys too, friends. Let me know how you feel about this topic, especially, and we'll see. Kyley, what's my next book? And maybe you actually have a physical copy you can give me, and we'll see if that makes a difference.
I'm going to hand deliver you your physical copy next weekend. So when I see you and we're live in person in the same city, so I've got the guarantee online for that one.
Is it a surprise then? Or are you going to tell me?
No, I'm going to tell you. So it is called Now or Never: Your Epic Life in 5 Steps. So this book, I'm not going to give away too much, but I think I'm very positive that you will enjoy it and get some tangible tasks and lessons out of it. So this was written by a couple, actually, and they are both entrepreneurs and professionals with busy lives. And it talks about how to navigate your own personal growth, but also with the people around you in relationships. So this I found is super important, and is not, I wish there were more books on this topic, to be honest, because that was something that I had a lot of challenges and obstacles with when I was first starting my growth and personal development journey. So they really strip everything down and even explain why you're mad at your spouse for loading the dishwasher a certain way. So it gets very, very basic, and explains things in a very clear and logistical kind of way of your thinking versus possibly the people around you and your surrounding relationships and their thinking, and how to kind of get back on the same page and back on the same track.
Nice. Well, that's good. I will be looking forward to the physical copy. And that's it for us today, folks. So we will put those book recommendations in the comment section and look for us again. We'll see you later, friends.